window blurs the streetlight halos. Chip white mug, my hands around its tremble. Empty chairs echo with someone else's laughter. Your name rises slow in the curling steam. Your last words still float like glass between us. You called it kindness, I heard a closing door. I chased your shadow through every crowded evening, found only my footsteps and a colder sky. If I had spoken when your eyes were breaking, would you have stayed for one more silent night? I keep waiting at the wrong doorway for a voice that's never calling back. Photographs shaking in my tired fingers. Your smile is there, but you are gone. I keep waiting at the wrong doorway. Too late to learn how to hold you. Cracked pavement outside the place we once called home. New lock on the door, but the air still knows you. I whispered your name into the bruised sky above. Begged the part that loved you to forgive what broke you. My trembling breath fogs up the darkened window. Every apology hangs there, then disappears. I keep waiting at the wrong doorway for a voice that's never calling back. Night rain turns the streetlight into halos. Each drop a word I never dared to say. Your photograph shakes in my unsteady fingers. I trace your face like a fading map of us. I keep waiting at the wrong doorway, knowing you're gone. And it was my silence. Some scars don't close, they learn to breathe. I carry you and walk away. Morning light slips through the cracked old window. Dust in the air like ghosts between us. Your initials carved in this tired nightstand. Promise a splinter too young to carry. The ocean's roar used to sound like shelter. Now every wave just calls your name back. Bare feet sinking where you once were standing. Our laughter buried under colder sand. I trace the place your shadow used to fall. Whispered dreams lost in the rising tide. I will never hate you night the sky was spilling restless starlight over us. Your trembling breath said everything your mouth couldn't say. I held your hand like it was already leaving. Our goodbye gentle, but it cut straight through me. You turned away, the waves kept rolling in. I finally learned some endings can be kind. I will never hate you, I can't pretend. Even shattered vows still ache to somehow mend. Love doesn't always stay, it just leaves marks. You're the deepest scar across my heart. I watched you fade into the restless shoreline, knowing some forever only lives in hindsight. I will never hate you, that's the painful truth. Every scar proves I once dared to love. The ocean keeps going, so will I. Lavender sky over this old weathered pier. Cold hands buried deep in a worn-out jacket. Your laughter still lives in the breaking waves. I stand where you left, counting fading light. We once drew forever in salt along these boards. Whispered promises floated like smoke around us. Time unstitched us slowly without a single fight. Two shadows drifting apart in the same soft night. Every year I come back to this doorway of water, hoping memory answers where your voice won't. Love like ours never really leaves, it just hides in quiet room inside. I waited, you didn't come back. My fault hangs like night rain. Love like ours never really leaves, it just turns into a beautiful cry. Traced your name in the splintered rail, my fingers trembling. Each chipped edge holds a photograph shaking in my chest. If I had spoken, would your eyes have stayed with mine, or still slipped away like smoke through my open hands? My trembling breath floats out across the dark water. I finally sing the words I saved too late. Love like ours never really leaves, it lives in every just turns into a beautiful crack. I carry you softly in every quiet room. Some scars don't close, they learn how to shine. I walk away slower, but not broken, beautifully cracked, still holding light. Night wind curls through my uneven breathing. Salt on my lips tastes like you're leaving. Waves keep time with a heart still breaking. Twilight spills over everything we were making. Your hand once fit mine like it was waiting. We chased summer stars, never thought of fading. Little hurts grew quiet beneath our laughter. Unspoken fears pulling at us faster. You walked away without a single fight. Silence said more than we ever might. The ocean knows the words we never said. Every wave repeats the night you left. I held on too long, or let go too soon. My deepest scars still remember you. Last evening flicker, small room barely breathing. You traced my hand, already half leaving. You said you loved me but needed to find yourself. I broke without anger, just a quiet fell. Your trembling breath hovered in the low light. When I should have tried. The ocean knows the words we never said. Every wave repeats the night you left. Our photographs shaking in this fading room. I held on too long or let go too soon. Empty doorways echo with your missing shoes. My deepest scars still remember you. Living with them is how I lose you twice. Some loves end but never really leave. Around the mark you left in me. Beneath my shaking knees tonight, fading light melting behind the distant skyline. I still feel your fingers fitting perfectly in mine, your laughter in the waves I can't rewind. I come back to this pier like a confession, empty doorway to the past, salt on my tongue. We were a slow dance, leaning against time. Now only photographs shaking in my mind. If I had spoken when the silence grew, would I still have a place beside you? Some love leaves a scar, so you remember you left a quiet mark where all the breaking slipped. I waited here, you didn't come back. Night rain falls, tracing every crack. Some love leaves a scar, so you remember you live. The call hit like sudden thunder through a quiet room. Your voice said you were leaving, chasing brighter skies. We talked for hours, trying not to say goodbye. Your freedom was the truth I never learned to choose. Silent dinners, eyes that couldn't meet mine. I kept holding on long after the goodbye. Some love leaves a scar, so you remember you left. Not to hurt forever, just to show you once gave. I waited here, you didn't turn back. Night rain drips through every widening crack. If I had spoken, I would have held you longer. Now the fading light just makes the shadows stronger. Some love leaves a scar, so you remember you live. My fault or not, it's all I have to give. I touched the scar, and oh, I was alive. Rust on rooftops, fading light through dirty glass. Your photograph shaking softly in my hands. New Orleans humming somewhere down the hall. I breathe your name into this quiet room. We were wildflowers in that heavy southern spring. Syrupy coffee steamed between our laughing mouths. Whispers in the dark fell like written stars. I thought forever meant we'd never have to speak. But silence grew where honesty should live. I wore my pride, you wore your questions. I carry the weight of us, not as burden, just quiet proof I once dared to love. Your shadow still leans in my doorway. Night rain remembers what I tried to forget. I carry the weight of us, not as burden. Under the swollen magnolia, you finally broke the spell. I need to find myself, you said I was not leaving mine. My trembling breath caught, every answer turned to dust. I reached for you, too late to learn your language. Empty doorways echoed every word you couldn't say. If I had spoken, would you have stayed? I carry the weight of us, not as burden, just quiet proof I once dared to love. Photographs shaking like leaves in the night rain. Your goodbye still hangs in the magnolia air. I walk these streets with slower, clearer steps now. Every empty room still whispers where you were. I carry the weight of us, not as burden, just a soft scar that taught me how to love. Some loves leave, but never really leave. I learned, holding what I couldn't keep. Pink sky bleeding into the quiet sea. Empty pier where your shadow used to be. Salty wind keeps turning back your name. Every wave repeats the night you came. We swore to chase every sunset to the edge. Starlit road, your hand on my tired chest. Our secret songs humming through the dark. I miss the cracks forming in your heart. You stared past me towards some distant shore. I held tighter, you were leaving more. You said you needed space to breathe alone. I watch you walk away into the unknown. The hardest part was letting your silence stay. Love healed me only by breaking me first that day. Love healed me only by breaking me first. Storm clouds bruise the sky above our wooden pier. Your trembling breath said everything I fear. 2 quiet miles, one goodbye we never spoke. We broke together while the evening broke. I reached for you, my hands just caught cold air. Too late to ask you if you'd still be there. You said you needed space to breathe alone. I watched you disappear into the gray unknown. Night rain on the boards where our laughter fell. Every drop spelling out what I never could tell. The hardest part was learning to let you stay gone. Love healed me only by breaking me first all along. Now I stand in your shadow, I know this curse. Love healed me only by breaking me first. Some lights stay as scars, some scars learn to glow. Sun sinking slow behind the harbor lights. Salt on the air tastes like your name. Empty rooms breathing with the distant traffic. Our last photograph shaking in my pocket. You used to dance barefoot in that small kitchen, spinning like the world would never touch you. Now the walls hold on to dust and echoes. Every shadow asks me where I lost you. If I had spoken when your voice was breaking, maybe your doubts wouldn't haunt these hallways. Some loves don't fade, they live under your skin, like night rain falling where the light used to begin. I waited in doorways you'd already left behind. Some loves don't fade, they just stay in your mind. Streetlamp halo on your fragile soaking hair. You you were leaving to find yourself beyond us. We held cold hands goodbye, drowning in the rain-filled air. I didn't beg you, I just let you shatter, thinking love meant losing you without a word. Some loves don't fade, they live under your skin, like night rain tracing every place we've been. I waited in doorways you'd already walked past. Some loves don't fade, they just outlive the past. For yourself, but your shadow stayed with me. Every scar on my heart spells your quiet memory. Some loves don't fade, they just ache when I breathe. Some loves don't fade, they teach you how to leave. Carry you softly, one love, one scar. Sun leaking through the crooked blinds, dust in the air like slow falling time. I sit on this floor where we were laughing, your name in my throat, but I stay silent. Outside, the ocean keeps breathing like nothing ever changed. Inside, every quiet corner still remembers your shade. We were a secret fire under those palm trees, too wild to hold, too fragile to confess. I trace a crack in the window glass, wonder where you went when I let you pass. Some scars are just love that never learn to leave, like night rain against an unanswering window. I waited, you didn't come back. Some scars are just love that never learn to leave. Shoreline at dusk, waves around my feet like questions, talking to the empty air, confessing to nobody listening. Your laughter in the tide, your silence in the cold wind. Love didn't fail me, it just stayed when you didn't. I hold the silver leaf you pressed in my hand, realize I was the distance you could not cross. Some scars are just love that never learn to leave. They ache like unreturned calls in the fading light. I waited by every doorway my mind invented, stepped in, your body never followed. Some scars are just love that never learned to leave. I thought I lost you, I only lost myself. The wound stays, so I remember how deep I felt. City lights blur through the rain, streaked window glass. Faded couch sinking under my restless weight. Cold hands tracing circles on worn out wood. Quiet room, breathing slow around your missing name. Notebook open, pages stained with half-spoken apologies. Every line I write, hope turns into smoke. I hear your laugh in the drip from the faucet. Night rain at the window, but you don't answer back. If I had spoken when your suitcase trembled, maybe this doorway wouldn't feel so endless. Left a photograph shaking in my hands. Your shadow slipped through that empty doorway. No blame in your eyes, just fading light. Some scars don't close, they learn to sing. Some scars don't close, they learn to sing. Quiet air, we danced like time had stopped beside the ocean's breath. Cracks in our forever spread like glass across the floor. Now every step I take remembers where you bled. If I had stayed quiet when my fear was screaming, maybe your goodbye wouldn't echo through these walls. Left a photograph shaking in my hands. Your shadow slipped through that empty doorway. No blame in your eyes, just that tired surrender. Some scars don't close, they learn to sing. They hum our names in every night rain window. They hurt to remind me I once truly lived. Some scars don't close, they learn to sing. The wound is the proof I didn't let you stay. I heal around you, lukewarm tea shaking in my tired hand. Your name in every corner of this house. Soft street light flickers like a fading vow. I hear our laughter in the quiet, almost kind. Your voice still threads through every wasted afternoon. The photograph shaking when the night rain starts. I touch your smile, but the paper stays cold. I waited in these rooms you left. My fault sits where your shadow stood. One love, one scar, still burning under my shirt. I'll whisper your name into the empty night air. If I had spoken, would you have stayed? One love, one scar, never really heals. I find our mural cracking on that crumbling street wall. My fingers trace the chip paint of your painted smile. Twilight holds its breath around my trembling hands. This is where you ended, and I kept going. I stand in the doorway of what we were, too late to call you back from the dark. One love, one scar, still burning under my shirt. Your ghost in the window of every passing night. If I had spoken, I would have held you longer. Cold hands on stone, I bless what I broke. One love, one scar, teaching me how to breathe alone. I whisper your name and let the echo answer. Some wounds stay open, so we remember we were whole. I walk on, carrying the quiet march. One scar, still choosing to live. Half empty room in the late forgiving light. Condensation trembling on my forgotten glass. Your chair across from me stays untouched tonight. Reggae in the distance, like a pulse from our past. This used to be a hiding place from every noise, where your tired hands would warm around mine. We were never perfect, but we were almost honest. Two broken hearts pretending forever was a simple line. Now your name glows quiet on my screen. I touch it once, then let it fade. Love was our refuge, now it feels like ruin. I waited now it feels like ruin. If I had spoken, I would have held you longer. I still hear your voice saying you weren't sure love was enough. That soft confession cut deeper than any shouted goodbye. We let the silence answer for both our shaking hearts. Two old friends closing a door, pretending not to cry. I replay that call in the night rain, every word slower, every pause heavier. Love was our refuge, now it feels like ruin. I waited, you didn't come back. Photographs shaking in my hands like trembling breath. Every quiet room echoes the way you lived. Love was our refuge, now it feels like ruin. If I had spoken, I would have held you longer. Now the scar stays open, so I don't forget. Some wounds stay, so we remember. Some goodbyes never learn to fade. Late sun leaking through the half-open window frame, dust in the air like slow falling yesterday. Your photograph shakes between my cold hands. Jasmine fading, but your absence stays strong. This quiet room remembers every time you laugh too loud. Books leaning sideways, shadows pooling where you used to stand. We thought forever meant we'd always hear each other. Now every unreturned call just rings inside my chest. If I had spoken when the silence grew, would your suitcase have stayed by the door? Some love is never meant to heal, it only proves we once were real. I waited in the doorway of our life. You walked through, I whispered I'm alright. Some love is never meant to heal. I see you leaving again, swollen eyes, shaking breath at the threshold. No fight, no slam doors, just your tired fingers on the handle. I could have begged, instead I swallowed every desperate word. The door clicked shut, and my heart learned how scars are born. If I had broken when you turned away, would you have broken with me and stayed? Some love is never meant to heal, proves we once were real. I felt the cut the moment you left. That rain started inside my chest. I waited by the window for your key. You didn't come back, that part's on me. Some love is never meant to heal. Just a quiet mark saying we once lived for real. The cruelest truth is I'd live it again. Not healed, just living with the scar. You were how I learned to feel it all. With a bench above the harbor, fading light on restless water, salt air clings to my collar, your ghost in my cologne. We were laughter on the docks, promises under broken stars. Now it's only waves and silence where your breathing used to be. Days blurred into great tide lines, your footsteps washed from the sand. I still trace our secret places, like you might answer my hands. Your smile flickers in the dusk, a photograph shaking in my chest. Every unreturned call grew sharper, every quiet night cut deeper. If I had spoken, if I had stayed, would your heart have drifted anyway? You were the harbor, I was the storm. I loved you wrong, but I loved you warm. All that remains is this unforgiven scar. You were my safe place, now you're just far. You were the harbor, I was the storm. Night rain on the window, empty room humming with what we lost. Your letter on the table trembling, my cold hands afraid of the cost. You wrote that holding on too tightly can be another way of letting go. Your words sank slow like anchors, dragging through everything I thought I know. If I had heard you beneath the quiet, would we still be breaking in this silence? You were the harbor, I was the storm. I loved you wrong, but I loved you warm. Every line you wrote became a fading light. Love turned to scar, still burning through the night. I waited, you didn't come back to shore, yet I drown again to feel you once more. You were the harbor, I was the storm. And this scar is proof I once was home. I walk away, but carry the tide, leaving you still living inside. autumn light slips down the misty bay. Cold hands hanging over restless water below. City noise dissolves behind my aching shoulders. Your name moves softly through this fading light. I see that corner table in the crowded place. Your laughing eyes cutting through the endless noise. We held our coffee like shields against old ghosts, dreaming out loud, pretending our scars were smaller. I heard the tremor hiding in your breath. I looked away when I should have stayed. Under amber streetlights, we let our voices break. You were crying softly, I could barely speak. We loved so deeply, it tore us into silence. We loved so deeply, it tore us into silence. I remember your hand shaking in that quiet street. No anger between us, just exhausted, failing courage. You said thank you like a last unspoken prayer. Our final embrace felt like forgiveness without forever. Your trembling breath lingered against my neck. I held you close to letting you go. Under amber streetlights, we let our voices break. You were crying softly, I could barely speak. We loved so deeply, it tore us into silence. We loved so deeply, it left this tender scar. Night rain on windows, your shadow in every doorway. I carry your memory like a wound that chooses to heal. We loved so deeply, it tore us into silence. Too precious to keep, too deep to forget. Love fades slow, but it never leaves. Some scars stay warm